Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
Do you want to become insanely successful? Do you want to be the go-to guru in your industry? Do you want to be talked about for all the right reasons? For over 40 years, Kevin Harrington has helped people just like you become significant influencers. Now he's broken the process down in the Key Person of Influence roadmap, and it's yours for free. Just text KPI to him at 727-888-2100. Text KPI to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free step-by-step guide. Text KPI to 727-888-2100 to get the recognition you deserve and experience the success as the go-to voice everyone listens to in your industry.
Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. Today I've got the good fortune to be joined by Melanie McMurrain, who has a unique insight into the mindset, triggers, and needs of an audience while understanding the techie details and limitations of ESPs and CRM databases and the rest of the alphabet acronyms. As a former teacher turned digital marketer, Melanie holds a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in instructional technology. Now, over the last 5 years, she's put these skills to good use in the trenches of the online business world, designing and managing multiple 7-figure launches on behalf of countless entrepreneurs, authors, course creators, teachers, and thought leaders, a former professional arena league football player, and of course, one of the original sharks from the first season of Shark Tank. Melanie, thanks so much for joining us.
All right, thank you for having me.
All right, so let's go back in time. So how do you go from teacher to digital marketer?
Well, it was an interesting transition. So I think like almost every entrepreneur has their story, right? So back in 2014, I was a general manager of a children's museum. And when you are running a nonprofit, you wear a lot of hats, very similar to entrepreneurship. And I rubbed some people the wrong way and found myself, when you're running a business and you have a board of directors over you, you kind of have to listen to them and kind of take their direction. And, there was just some things we just didn't agree on. So I found myself one afternoon writing that post on Facebook that says, chapter of my life has come to an end. Boo hoo 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 hoo. P.S. By the way, if you know anybody that's hiring, let me know. And, what was interesting about that was my entire being was that museum. I had a TV program. I was involved in the Chamber of Commerce. I was leaders of networking groups, but it was all, the charity that I supported. My whole life was that nonprofit. So to lose it, I really felt like I was losing myself. But the relationships that I had built in the business industry, a digital marketer who had an agency reached out to me. He said, I know you don't really know anything about marketing or advertising, or you probably don't even know what digital marketing really is. But I think based on your drive and what I know about you, if I could get you to sit down for 9 hours a day at a computer, you would love this. So I said, well, I don't really have anything else to do. So sure, let's give it a shot. And within 9 months, I was promoted to vice president of the agency. And we pretty much ran it together until 2018 when we split and I went off on my own and started Rize Marketing.
Okay,
so it was a lot of fun. It was definitely, there was the times of Confusionsoft and Facebook ads don't work for me, right? Like all of this, everything that every entrepreneur has said in life, I went down that path too. So, but it was getting on the other side of it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on one heck of a journey. The longer version, if it isn't, should be in a book somewhere. So tell us a little bit about what Rize Marketing is.
So Rize Marketing started out as a full done-for-you service agency. And what really made us different with the agency that I worked at before was we're not just Facebook ads, or we're not just YouTube ads, or just funnels, or just email. Because what we found out was when you have multiple team members on your team, and each person is, you have a website designer that's responsible for their website, you have the ads person responsible for ads, the argument that comes up is my part worked, another part didn't. And all the parts can fail and all the parts can succeed. And even if all of your parts are working, it does not mean you're going to get sales or conversions. So you really have to look at and watch those leads and watch the path and look at every conversion point along the way to not necessarily say what's broken, but where your weak points are and what you need to optimize. So Rize marketing really focuses on studying all those conversion points and making the little tiny tweaks and adjustments that will lead to faster success and scalable success online.
Awesome. So you have been behind the scenes coordinating, choreographing, and making work some amazing multiple seven-figure launches. So let's talk a little bit about how did you get those clients in the door, given that even you had worked at a previous agency and then started your own. How did you get in the door? How did you get them to know you, like you, trust you, all that good stuff?
Well, just like Kevin, just like those seven-figure leaders, my business is 100% referral. And I'm very, very blessed in that because it's the relationships that I built. It's going to the live events. It's talking to people. And I was fortunate enough that in the agencies that I've worked with and my teaching background, speaking from stages and presenting, like I can teach really well. So my clients often have me on their stages, speaking to their audiences and, just connecting with people. So people typically hear me talk or are introduced, I get referred around in networks. Being involved in masterminds, having a mentor is so critical. And I love being a mentor for so many people that are mentors. So it makes it easy, but it does all go down to being seen, being heard, and building long-term relationships.
Absolutely. That makes total sense. I would agree. So talk to us a little bit about some of the highlights that you've been able to achieve for some of those amazing people.
Well, one of the things that I am most proud of and excited about has been the impact of email marketing. And that's one of the big shifts that has happened over the past year, especially with COVID and this, we call it this new world we're living in. I also just adopted a 12-year-old son. So
congratulations.
I'm now a mom. And so there's more to life than 9 hours, which is actually like 12 to 14 hours a day behind a computer. There's more to life than that. And so I really started looking at what am I most passionate about? What really fires me up? And studying email marketing funnels, looking at email deliverability and how things are working. Your email list is your most powerful tool for generating sales. Any amount of time, if you need money, you should have a list of people who view you as a mentor that can say, I trust this person, they're making this advice, whether it's an affiliate offer, a sale offer, or a personal launch that you're doing. We need to have people that can listen to us. And, every week we clean our house. Hopefully every day we make our bed, we do our dishes when the dishes get clean, piled up in the sink. So many entrepreneurs do not take care of their email lists. And when I started working with people and actually taking care of their email list and having those lists scrubs done with a third-party tool to determine who's opening, who's not opening, what are all these potential pitfalls with, and one or two contacts on your list can impact how you show up in Gmail, how you show up in Hotmail, all of it. So we absolutely need to make sure that we're focused on the right thing, because we can, sorry.
It's okay, I've got one at home.
It's all right. She's pretty good most of the time, but when we're sending an email out, it can get blocked. And I've come up with a system that will really identify who's being blocked and who's getting through. And when you have, it's a 3-part system: indoctrination, re-engagement, and cleaning your list. The cleaning is the key. And watching open rates increase, not only because somebody is just emailing less people, but when, here, let me tell you this one story. So I had a client, 700,000 people on his email list, sent an email out to all 700,000. He was getting about 10,000 people to open that email. That was it. It was abysmal. And I had to tell him the hard truth of, we have to email less people. We have bad contacts, have to get them out. And entrepreneurs get so passionate about, I paid for those leads. They were qualified. They were opening before. They're good contacts. Just keep emailing them until they unsubscribe. The people that you want to talk to are not going to hear you if you have that mindset. So we did an experiment, and for 2 weeks, we did not email the full 700,000 list. We emailed the active engaged list, which was 68,000 people, much smaller. When we would send one email to 68,000 people, we would get 18,000 people to open that email.
A much better open rate.
So it's a huge open rate, but mail 700,000, get 10,000 to open. Mail 68,000, get 18,000 people to open. The way you show up is better. And if more people are, like I said, seeing you, hearing you, and building that connection with you, you're going to make more sales. You're going to have a bigger impact. And it just will raise your profits. Plus, imagine how much money you could save by not paying for a CRM with 700,000 contacts in it.
I would imagine you would save a significant amount of money if you cut out 80, 90% of your contacts. Absolutely. The volume monthly pricing would drop. All right. So that's a great example of why we need to follow the email protocol that you're talking about. Talk to us about some of those 7-figure launches. If you're allowed to disclose who they are, I'd love to hear hear a case study.
So I can't share too much, right? I can't say like specifically who it is, but many of the 7-figure launches that I've worked on are well-known membership site launches. I have a client who every month will do a live webinar. And on that live webinar, he makes an offer. And the key to the program, the core offer is the same, but it's changing the positioning. It's changing the bonuses. It's changing the package, because everybody wants something different, right? And people have different needs and different objections. And so if you can identify who's buying, you can find more people similar to that. And I'm not just talking about ads with lookalike audiences, but it's considering what people's core needs are right now. So you find out what they need, you build a training and a bonus package that speaks directly to that need. You can have 8 different webinars all selling the same product with different packages that allow you to take one product and really scale it. And so that's one of the most effective ways that we've been able to do 7-figure launches that have turned into recurring 7-figure evergreen funnels that can keep going. I have multiple clients that have at least 5 webinars on their site that all lead to the same product, but the positioning of the webinar and who it's attracting is a completely different person. One of the live launches that I'm managing right now, which we're highly anticipating to be a 7-figure launch. There's no reason why it shouldn't be. It always has in the past, but post-COVID, it's a little unknown. But we are greatly segmenting the list. As soon as somebody registers for our challenge, which is a paid challenge, they come in, they register, and then we're asking them, tell us about your business now. Do you have a business? Do you not have a business? And if you have a business, is it earning revenue? Because a lot of people start a business, but they're not exactly collecting money, right? We're all out there in that stage. And we find that, 80 to 90% of the audience that we have is not generating revenue consistently. So when they're not generating revenue consistently, how can we help them? So they will have different webinars positioned to them after the challenge. They will have their own sales page with their own objections, because if you're a business owner or not, the program that we're selling will support both audiences, but in different ways. So we have to be sure to make sure that people know that this program is right for them based on where they are right now. And that's a huge miss that a lot of people often make.
Okay, so you talked about that. You talked about the email protocol. What are some of the other most common mistakes you're seeing entrepreneurs making in the world of digital marketing?
Honestly, being afraid to spend money, take action. We spend so much time going through and trying to get it perfect, trying to get it right, trying to make it be what it needs to be. And it never gets launched. It never gets started. So take action, launch it messy, get the feedback, and then you'll know what to optimize. Let's go back to the beginning when I talked about having your funnel and all those different conversion points. If you never get it out there in front of people, you're never going to find out what you need to fix or what you need to enhance.
That makes absolute sense. You've achieved an immense amount of success. What would you say your biggest challenge is now?
My biggest challenge now is, my ultimate goal is to get away from the done for you and go into more service-based, membership style digital products and courses. My biggest downfall is my passion for my clients and what I do, because the thought of disappointing them or shifting away, I'm kind of a workaholic. I've always been that way. And, trying to prioritize my own programs and service, it's just kind of been on the back burner of everything else. So I get in that, the objection in my head is I don't have enough time. But just like anybody who says they don't have enough time or enough money, a lot of people hear that sales objections. Those are never valid objections. If they don't have time, they're not prioritizing what you have over what they're spending their time on now. And if they say they don't have the money, it's because they want to be spending money on something else too. So it all comes down to priorities. And I really want to shift my priorities in my head, because I know personally and professionally, it would be a bigger win on the back end.
Absolutely. What do you like best about what you do?
I just love seeing the impact in the world. The clients that I work with, the influencers, none of them are all about the money. They bring in enough money, but the money that they make is to make an impact in the world. I see them giving back. I see them on mission trips. I see how they're not only supporting their students and helping them grow and build businesses online and in the digital world, but also I'm seeing the impacts that they're making with charities and things locally here in the United States and all across the world. So it's really cool to see the ripple effect.
Absolutely. That is beautiful. Who is an ideal client for you?
Ideal clients for me already have an email list and they already have an offer that converts. Most often they are struggling with email open rates. They're struggling to get ascended sales. So they're really struggling to get somebody to make that second purchase. So we can work together to identify those products to take somebody from one product to the next product. And then if you have an offer that converts internally, my team's really effective in helping build cold traffic and warm-up strategies, indoctrination and re-engagement funnels to get that person to come onto the list, stay engaged, and make their first purchase.
Awesome. That makes a lot of sense. For our folks who are watching or listening are interested in learning more about you and everything else, Rize, where is the best place for us to send them?
The best place to go would be rizemarketing.com/shark. We'll have that set up for you. So Rize Marketing, Rize is with a Z.
So RIZE marketing.com/shark.
/shark, and we'll have there for you. We'll have a little cheat sheet to help get started on the email process that I was talking about.
Awesome. We greatly appreciate that. Our audience will love it. This has been Seth Greene here with Melanie McMurrain of Rize Marketing. Melanie, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Do you need money to fund your idea, product, or service? Are you ready to take your business to the next level but need capital to get it done? Kevin Harrington has heard more than 50,000 pitches and knows how to help you make the perfect pitch to get the funding for your entrepreneurial dream. He's distilled the process down in his perfect pitch cheat sheet, and it's yours for free. Just text PITCH to him right now at 727-888-2100. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free perfect pitch cheat sheet. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 to start funding your dream today.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.